Okay, so this is the classroom. This is this is Mr. Brown's U.S. history classroom right now. And they're reviewing their notes for the upcoming quiz right now.
All right, so we're going to take a quiz.
And in a few days, I'm planning to make a lesson plan for the class.
I'm going to hand it out.
I plan to.
A lot of you guys need the time.
I plan to interview Mr. Brown.
Done, right? Make sure your name is on it. Hand it to him.
And you see there's posters.
Okay, so get your notes out, take everything else off your desk.
Posters over here about the U.S. military and books about the U.S. military, World War II. You have the classroom textbooks that they have been using. The textbook, A Nation Conceived in Liberty. I will be referring back to this during my lessons and in my lesson planning. And you have some other posters. If you want to be a lion, you must train with lions. Do it tired, do it weak, do it sad, do it anyway. All these posters, they're very inspirational, motivational. It's all around Army Rangers because he was part of the Army. So he has a lot of Army posters. He has a Douglas MacArthur quote. The smart board. And another quote: when you disrespect our flag, you disrespect those who died defending your freedom. The American flag right next to it. This is where I am. Here's the full bell schedule. Oops. With a lunch schedule. This is his seat. And the tables like this. Tables look like this. That is how his room looks like, with a microwave right here. And then right now they're just getting started with the year relatively early. Now they're taking an assessment right now. And in the next video, I will interview Mr. Brown. Okay, hello. We're here with Mr. Brown, with Coach Brown. He is currently a football coach and a high school history, U.S. history teacher at West Forsyth High School. So I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
What strategies, in-class strategies, do you use to prepare for the milestones and of course assessments?
Okay. Well, we use a lot of guided notes that I use for the students. I reinforce that with some video information. I also reinforce that with a couple of little projects that we do, some hands-on things. You know, by the end of the year, we have study guides We have practice tests, and I go over information with them to kind of prepare them further for the milestones test.
Interesting. So the quizzes serve as formative assessments for now. Like the quiz that they
Yes.
just did right now,
Quizzes are formative.
those serve as formative, and then the test would be summative for, I guess, also formative for the end of the year milestone assessments.
Right, and I kind of make them keep all their notes, their guided notes, and that way they have something to look back on, because the milestone covers the whole year, not just a portion of the course.
It's like the I took the New York State Regents exam, and that was like the whole year. The whole year I took practice Regents exams, quizzes based on those practice Regents exams from previous years.
Mm-hmm.
Those were, in my opinion, those were excellent. Same thing with AP exams. Just practice questions, practice FRQs, DPQs, all of that. And how do you effectively pace the days of lesson and units to fit the content and timing?
Okay, so the pacing guide is given to us kind of by the county. The county puts out a pacing guide, and if we need to modify it in any kind of way, we can. Usually it just depends on, the first unit is pretty simple. It's colonial time, so it's about a week and a half. And then, as you move on and you get into more things, the most time that you're going to take on any of the units, and there's a total of 12 of them altogether, will be 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I was in my planning. I'm thinking about like the AP US history breakdown.
This is
1607.
Yeah,
17.
we don't get into that much detail for this. If it was an AP course, it would be different, but this is just the regular ed course. So
okay.
The course is outlined to provide them with an overall perspective of U.S. history. It doesn't get into any great detail.
Okay, yeah, because I'm used to the 1607 to 1754, 1754, 1800, to 1848,
Sure.
all of that. Sure. I'm just used to thinking like that and like
Sure.
periodizing it in that way. So I will keep that in mind when I plan and when I teach, to make it flow, it flow, and so I don't run out of time, because that's, in my opinion, that's a big issue that I have right now. I'm trying to fix that. And then another question: how do you keep track of the class, and if they're prepared for like the questions, or prepared for the overall class during class?
Okay, so the biggest thing with the students is they just need to attend class.
Okay.
If they attend class, they get the information, and I check to make sure that they get the information. And a lot of that has to do with the guided notes that we give out. And then any type of extra stuff, we work in our book. I help them with vocabulary. The book is theirs to keep also. So they highlight, they write in the book, and they can do different things to kind of help them understand. And as far as the pacing is concerned, I use the quizzes to kind of gauge the understanding for the students. And then, if there's a particular question that all of them are having trouble with when we get together with the other classes, when we do this coordinated time that we have together to kind of get together and talk about the data, because all the quizzes and tests are pretty much similar. They're not exact, but the questions will go along with the standards, and so we'll look at the standard, we'll look at the question that related to the standard, and then we'll determine how did the students answer that question? Did they do it? Did they answer it well? Did they not answer it well? What was the question? What type of question did you use? We'll look at that, and we'll make a determination of whether we need to go back and reteach that. Now, you got to be careful with that, because if you do too much reteaching, you're not going to finish everything that you need to finish to get all the information for the milestones. So you're in kind of a catch-22 there. If you want to reteach it, but you have to do it with the next unit. In other words, you'll go over it, and then maybe on the next unit you'll have a question that'll refer back to that to see how they answer it.
So like a remediation,
like a remediation
style,
exactly.
Just
exactly.
picking like if they have like if the main skill is like an essay writing skill, a thesis writing skill, and it could be on any topic. It can be on the Revolutionary War, etc. You just choose to focus on like essay writing, essay planning,
right,
all that.
And you may have to revisit that at a later time also, just to make sure that they understand, that they've learned that standard.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I will have to keep that in mind.
Now you got to understand that I teach a special ed class, so it's a small group, and these kids have IEPs, individual education plans, and I make sure that they get all their accommodations. But I also understand that some of them have trouble with processing and things like that, and memory, and so I'll go back and I'll say, hey, do you remember this concept from this unit that we did earlier? And that way it kind of keeps the focus on the things that you're trying to reteach them, that you're refocusing them on. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, history is a lot of like cause and effect, connect the dots, and all of that. So
I just have to be careful that I don't get caught up in trying to reteach everything every single time, because I won't hit all the information, and that would not allow them to get all the information for the milestone.
Yeah, that's one of my big issues too. I have to plan it and make it teach it to them in a way that kind of would allow me to have more time to like not fall behind. I mean, that's what I really have to think about that when I plan. And also how do you maintain a calm learning environment, and how might it be different from other teachers in the grade, or other teachers or administrators in the school in general?
Okay, so
like classroom management.
Yeah, well, mainly, you want to kind of build a little bit of a relationship with the kids, so you get to know them a little bit. And once they get comfortable with you and you get kind of comfortable with them and that relationship, it's a little easier for them to get along, and you're able to manage the class a lot better. And every little thing that they do in here, if they break a rule or something, I try to be the correction and not pass it on to somebody else, because I feel like if I'm the one that's enforcing the rules, because it's my class, they're going to respect that, and they're going to do what I ask them to do. If I pass it on to somebody else, the possibility of them not respecting that and just holding them accountable kind of sets the tone in the classroom.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. when I make like a rules list, like three to five rules about, I'm gonna have to introduce them, introduce the rules, explain the rules, but also make sure that I follow up on the rules, because when I had my other lessons, it was I might have not followed up exactly with the rules that I laid out, the 3 to 5 rules. So I'm gonna have to keep in mind when I teach for for this semester in a few weeks. That's gonna be very important for me. And yeah, that is it.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
All right, awesome.